Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Warren, and we the Eagles Collective. Just here talking about some Eagles sports news and updates that's going on in the league right now. We all know the Eagles are now entering into their bye week, so we just want to follow up on everything that we've seen throughout the last 9 weeks, and also go over that crazy game that happened Sunday night against the Cowboys, our rivalry, the team that we always need to beat. Um, so Jay, give me a little bit of your thoughts on that game.
Well, to be truthfully honest with you, another week of nervousness and on the edge, type of play. So it would have definitely been one of the worst losses I felt as an Eagles fan if they would have lost that game. So I'm glad they pulled it through. But man, just another win in a completely different way. So now it's 8 wins in 8 different ways, and it's just this team is very resilient so far from what I see. A little bit more than halfway through the season. Going on, we lost you real quick.
Yeah, most definitely. No, I agree with you. My biggest thing is just the defense. Our defense stepped up when needed, and they've been doing that even when the offense was falling back. I know the last two games against the Commanders, and then before that, the offense kind of had to step up and kind of put themselves in position. So everybody, each sides of the ball, the team is helping each other, which I think I think if it was on both ends to where we were both being dominant, this would have been an easy game that we could have taken over.
Yeah, this game looked like it was going to be a blowout to a degree. I was watching Slay's podcast, earlier this episode last weekend, and it almost looked like a blowout real quick. And then, the offense did nothing with their last three possessions. They put everything on the defense, and credit to the defense because at times I feel like they're going to be the ones to doom this team, and then at times I feel like they're the strong point of this team. So it's just, we lost one for a second. But yeah, so Warren comes back, like I was saying, this team, their run defense to me is their specialty, is their bread and butter. Pass defense is still worrying me, but we have situations that happen. We had guys go down at the end of the game. Bradbury went out one play, and Slay went out the next play, and all those shuffling and different alignments on defense. So a veteran Dak, he's going to take advantage of that. So that's what he was doing. He was taking full advantage of the matchups he was getting, the rookies he was facing. So to say that I'm disappointed in defense, I wouldn't say that. I'm not by any stretch saying they're playing lights out perfect, but when they need a stop, they get a stop. Offense too, they say the Eagles haven't put a complete game together. That's because one day the offense is playing good, one day the defense is playing good. It's like we can't get everybody on the same page, but they still find a way to win. So, it's a good problem to have. A good problem to have. They say we haven't put a game together yet. In my eyes, they're 8-1. They did what they were supposed to do. Most people expect them to have a very good record going into the bye. And the gauntlet schedule is coming up, like I like to call it. And as the seasons went on, some of the Buffaloes are looking strong. The 49ers are looking strong. So I'm more focused on the Chiefs game, getting out of that, and then looking forward after that. Everything we got Warren back in the Adams to see.
Yeah,
What my fault for that. We back.
yeah, most definitely. So
Like basically, I was up just talking about that. I just felt like sometimes the defense can do us, but then again, they get stops when we need them to get them. It's like they're coming up at the exact moment we need them to come up. They haven't let us down in that aspect. To give the Cowboys that many penalties in the last drive, in the last minute.
hey, bro, I think you're a little staticky on your end.
You think?
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of static. Yeah, it's just shaky. Yeah, the voice is just shaky.
So,
Um,
so
that's perfect, bro. That's perfect. That's perfect. So
I
yeah,
had,
you
I
were
had,
saying, yeah, you were saying Dak Prescott the way that he was playing.
yeah. So basically, Prescott started taking advantage of the secondary towards the end of the game. When everybody was getting injured and they were shuffling people, and when he threw that long pass up the left sideline, I already knew that they were trying to get a pass interference call and get the ball down there, fast. So, he was just simply taking advantage of the young corners, but they stepped up. the situations that the Eagles secondaries has been putting into, like Eli Ricks and Sidney Brown, come playoff time, it's gonna be valuable to them because these type of games build you for those moments. So I'm still excited to see what is the potential of this defense, because this defense still hasn't played to its full potential in my eyes.
Yeah, and that's what's scary about our team. Everybody knows our defense hasn't played to its top potential. I think we can all agree the best we've seen the Eagles play at that top level was against Miami.
Yeah.
Shutting down Tyreek, putting up
Mhm.
points, no issues on the ball. I can't remember off the top of my head if,
And
if
the
Hurts
Rams
had
game
anything.
too. The Rams
Yeah,
game, they shut them
and that
down the
Rams
second
game.
half.
Yeah,
They've had their games where they, I would say the Dolphins and the Rams game, but then again, also like I said, this team is a little weird in the sense that every week, last year they were steamrolling people, running over complete games, running over people, offense, everything clicking. Every week it's like somebody's picking it up. Somebody so in a weird way, it's building resilience, even though it's nail biting wins for us, and nail biting games for us as fans, for them it's building resilience and it's teaching them, it's teaching them.
yeah, most definitely. We
What up,
got
Dennis?
Dennis
What
giving a
up?
shout out.
Yeah, we fixed the audio up, bro. Tell me if you hear me good now.
Yeah, we got it. We got it running now. So
We running on that.
yeah, appreciate y'all letting us know about the audio. Um,
Yeah, my fault, bro.
yeah, we appreciate y'all. Um, yeah, I think that was the biggest thing about this game. Uh, Me personally, I don't think we were going to play our best because it wasn't necessary to play our best. Because I feel like the Cowboys, needed this victory more than we did. If we would have ended off that game with a L, we would have went into the bye week studying our mistakes, understanding what we did wrong, and coming out even stronger against the Chiefs the next game. The Cowboys were the ones that needed this, and I think that is the reason why Dak played the way that he did. Um, and I know me and Jay were talking a little bit yesterday about the game, but if you seriously think about everything that's going on, the Cowboys need this victory. They need to show that they can go further than
Absolutely.
just the first round of the playoffs. You got Dak Prescott. Everybody's questioning if Dak Prescott is the quarterback of the future. You got Mike McCarthy. Everybody's questioning if he's going to be the coach of the future. They got more at stake right now than what the Eagles do. So them playing like that is a measuring stick to show how they play up against their division rivals, and their division rival just happens to be like Super Bowl contenders last year. So I think they needed this victory more than we did, and I guarantee you that coming into the game in December on December 10th, they're going to need that win more than we are because yeah, they're going to
I'm
need
gonna
that more as well.
I'm gonna go against a little against what you're saying, Warren, because I feel like if we would have lost this game, their next two games are against opponents they can easily beat. So it's like I also didn't want to lose this game and then put them and get them rolling, because if they would have beat the Eagles, no, their confidence starts rolling, they start feeling a high horse. You don't know what. So to me, this game was a little important because you wanted to go into the bye with a W, because you were gonna lose some of the next few games.
Yeah, so
That's
so
guaranteed.
you're saying we got that tough. You're
There's
talking
gonna
about
they're gonna
those
lose a game
those
or
next tough
two
four
down the
games.
stretch. Yeah, they're gonna lose a
Yeah,
game or two down the stretch because you can't win them all. And if they do win them all, or end up losing just one, I'll be very ecstatic. But
but you got to check this
realistically
out though.
speaking,
Yeah, but check this out. So we have those tough games after our bye week. So we're gonna be well rested. Their tough games is their last games. That's when they have their tough games. So let's say it's neck and neck. Let's just say it's neck and neck after that game against us. They gotta go in and they gotta beat those tough teams.
they do, they
Cause
do.
so they can simply get knocked out 2 weeks before the postseason, or 3 weeks before the postseason. So they actually have a tougher road ahead of them. The position that we're in is simply if we can go into these games with W's and with victories out of all these games that we're playing right now, we're gonna be in a better spot to where we can rest Jalen. we can rest Dallas, and
Well,
that
those
and that
last
Dallas
three
game is not
games,
going to matter.
if you look at, you say, okay, we have that gauntlet of schedule, the 6 games, right?
Yeah,
No, 5 games, and then we have Washington. I'm sorry, we have the Giants, Arizona, and New York again. So those last 3 games for us, if we could get through the gauntlet with a good positive record and then end up with these last 3 games, we could have the number 1 seed wrapped up very early. For me, the road to the Super Bowl lies on that number 1 seed. It's worked for them twice. It's hard to win in the link in the come playoff time. So for me, just keep stacking the W's, build a cushion. Just keep building that cushion because you're not gonna win them all. You're not gonna win them all.
yeah, you're not going to win them all, and we might get an L on one of these games. We don't know which one it is,
We don't know
but
yet.
I think at the end of the day, we're in a good spot because our team was able to rest. Like
Absolutely.
we have players getting injured. We have Jalen hurt. We got coaching decisions and coaching opportunities that need to be made. So
We
this is
should
a
we
good
should get
time.
Jurgens back for this Chiefs game. Jurgens
We
should be
should,
back.
and that should bring back the running game that
That
we
should
need.
help the running game. Because Swift only averaged, I think, 2.7 a carry, and that the running game has been non-existent for almost 3 weeks now. So they got to get that going because that's part of our DNA. You saw what we did when Swift was running crazy for those first couple of weeks. So they got to get the running game back. I don't care how you do it, how you slice it or dice it. The splitting it up, and they gave Swift 18 carries last week. He just didn't do much with it. You got to
No, they
make the
did.
most out of those carries. They're giving him his carries. It's just not being effective. The running game is not as effective as it was in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and that was a lot of Cam Jurgens because he's practiced with them in the off season. He
Yeah,
he knows his moves, he knows his stunts, he knows what he needs to do to make that
continuity.
run game successful. So I think putting him back in, yes, it will bring back the run game. Um, like I said, we saw Penny for a little bit. We saw him for a little, but
So
I
yeah,
think
he
yeah,
he didn't do too bad.
yeah, I seriously think that they're holding out on Penny right now because they want him. Think about it like this: Swift has been running the ball a majority of the time for the last 9 weeks. Think about
Hmm.
you get a pair of fresh legs now, like helping out with that stretch of games that we have. You got fresh legs coming in, and he can help us finish off the rest of this season. And
Hmm.
then Swift is resting, so by the time playoffs come, Swift is our lead running back, and both of our running backs are well rested. We avoided the whole injury
That's true.
potential. We avoided all of that just by strategically putting these running backs in place. Now, I watch a lot of news and people talk about, hey, like why is Penny not playing? I think the Eagles are smart. They're gonna come up. They have a reason for it, and they're not gonna let us know. Why would let us know? But I think the running game is going to be a strong component with these next few games that we got coming up. Uh, but back to the Dallas game though, we all saw Jalen get injured in the middle of that game. I want to say the end of the second quarter, I believe, or the
Yeah,
beginning of
right
the
before
third quarter.
halftime. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
right before
we saw.
halftime.
I think as an Eagles fan and just as an Eagles fan, you have to know that your quarterback is the best quarterback on the field. Just by that simple move of him getting up injured and then right after that running the ball,
Yeah.
like he ran for about what 7-8 yards,
And he hit
like
there, and he hit the Smitty on a dime too. I mean, like you said, like forget about stats because I'm sick of hearing, oh, the Dak outplayed him. Dak outplayed him. Hurts outplayed Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and we lost. It happens.
exactly.
But you know what? When we say outplayed, we need to say statistically outplayed him. And I don't know if Dak really statistically outplayed him. 29 for 44 to throw just over 300 yards. Hurts only had 22 attempts, 17 completions. I'd rather take the guy with a couple less and take the W because the thing about Jalen Hurts is you don't need Jalen Hurts to be that 3 touchdown, 300-yard quarterback every single game for you guys to win. He can throw for 200 and you guys can win. He can throw 1 touchdown and you guys can win. He could throw for 194 yards and you guys will win. So that's the thing. The Cowboys need Dak to be at the maximum level he could possibly be for them to even get close to winning. And that's what I love about Philadelphia. They find ways to win. We don't fully rely on Jalen. The offense has different aspects to it. So that's just what we do.
We just got more tools in our toolbox. And when the
Yeah.
Cowboys took away Zeke, that took away a tool that they used to dominate on
Mhm.
a lot of teams.
They have
So
no running game right now.
their running game is terrible. Tony Pollard got that one smooth run on us, but after that, that was it.
That's it. They
So
have nothing else.
they don't have anything else. And they were saying, and I will give Dak his props on the game that he played. He
Yeah,
played
he was
a
slinging the
well
ball.
a well statistic game. Like his stats were on point. But let's talk about. But there's also another quarterback whose stats are really good, but it's not going to go anywhere.
I think we lost Warren again. Let's see. Hold up. He'll probably be right back.
Kirk
Wait,
Cousins is
wow.
that same. No, you're good. Kirk Cousins is that same exact quarterback. His stats are good. And when you look at Kirk Cousins' stats, they're amazing, bro. Over 300 yards majority of the time every game. That's awesome. But at the end
It
of the day,
is.
what is Kirk Cousins doing to take the Vikings to the next level?
Yeah. Well,
Like,
how are
what
you
is he really
uplifting the
doing?
team? What have you done to uplift the team? And this just Jalen is an elevator. Certain quarterbacks are elevators, and I know it sounds cliche because they're the quarterback. They're the ones who deliver the ball, but it's just certain tenacity that some quarterbacks play with that just get the team going. And Jalen is one of those quarterbacks. The Eagles played for him, bro. 25 wins in 27 of his last regular season games. He just finds a way to win, and that's what teammates want to see. This guy finds ways to win. We're gonna find ways with him.
They see him getting hurt and they're like, yo, he's really going back out there.
Yeah,
He's really
yeah,
going to
it's
all that
unbelievable.
stuff, bro. The team notices that. So me personally, I think Hurts had the better game because Hurts won and Hurts played on an injury. When you're playing on an injury, that changes the whole game, bro. That changes the whole entire game. And for him to play like he was not injured at all, that's phenomenal, bro. Like not every quarterback can do that. You telling me if Dak had that same injury that Dak would be out the next game
This is the thing. This is the thing that I have
scrambling?
with Dallas with this whole game. We let it get too close because once again, towards the end of the game, we were in some bad field positions to even want to run the ball, like to do what we wanted to do. Last three offensive possessions, we did nothing. We gave them back. We were giving them away the game. There was a one point where I was driving, I was watching the game in the car, and I told him we're gonna lose this game. We're gonna lose this game because this game is just the recipe I'm seeing is just for a loss. And the resilience and they came up short a couple times, the Blankenship touchdown and the Dak stepping out of bounds and the Dak flip, the Eagles just out hustled the Cowboys in this game in my eyes. They got out hustled by the Eagles. And that if you look at the plays and the highlights, and it's just evident. And if you look at the stat sheet, Dallas offense had over 100 yards more than the Eagles, and the Eagles still found a way to win. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that game basically showed. They said it was a game of inches. The touchdown to Shootamaker was an inch away. The
But he got
Dak
out
stepping out of
hustled.
bounds.
He got out hustled
Yeah,
by Brandon Graham.
they
Every
only
single
got out
play.
hustled. Not only out hustled, but that just lets them know that it's not that you're an inch away to being just as good at it as us, but it's you're not there yet. You're not there. You're not there. You got small little simple mistakes that our team practices on and focuses on because they said they focus on the details in the process of the game. We don't make mistakes like that. We
Like,
don't
think
make
about think
mistakes
about think
where
about Brandon Graham chasing Dak to that sideline. We know Dak is faster than Brandon at Brandon's age, but Brandon didn't give up. And his relentless pursuit, and even though Dak was beating him to the pylon, that little extra shove he gave out at the end. It reminds me of when Joe pushed out Bourne when we were playing New England week 1. And he pushed Bourne out, that little
yeah.
push to Bourne's back, and just enough for Bourne to get out. Just enough to make Dak just inch a little that way. Same thing with Blake
Mhm.
Blankenship. when he automatically said, "Let me bring him down." You could look at the slow motion. He's just trying to trail him down, not leaning him forward, stopping him in his tracks, and it's exactly what he did. I'm telling you, the Eagles just wanted it more. You know that game shouldn't have ended like that. The score is just made it seem more that everything that Dallas did was in the fourth quarter. Everything they did in the second half was in the fourth. Third quarter is crickets, quiet. It's almost like they have to be in desperation, for these things to happen. And it shouldn't be like that. You should be able to be calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, CD Lamb had a game though. I'll give
Yeah, he did.
CD.
CD balled
CD had a
out.
game. Yeah, over 100. I think he had 191 passing yards or
191
receiving
receive
yards. Yeah,
191. He had
191 receiving yards. So he balled out,
he killed us.
and
Yeah, he killed us.
we played you now. Yeah, we played y'all now. So
Mhm.
we know y'all. We know y'all's weaknesses. We know y'all's strengths now. Now it's up for us to go in and say, all right, we shut this down at home. Now let's shut it down at their house.
They
That's it.
sacked Dak 5 times, so they were getting home. So and it's like once again, Hassan Reddick, I call him the closer man because this guy saves the best for last. Some way, somehow, towards the fourth quarter, he just hits pay dirt and finds home. He finds a way to disrupt the game. And I love having Hassan Reddick on his team because he is, to me, criminally underrated. And as from Eagles fans' perspective, like we talk about everything, I hear so much guys' name, but I never hear anybody ever hear like say Reddick's my guy. Reddick is a serious piece on his team, like a serious piece on his team, especially when it comes out to closing games. I'm gonna look it up after this, but I'm pretty sure a lot of his sacks are coming on the latter end of the games.
Yeah, they are. They're coming in the later end of the games. Uh, what's a little bit different about the way that we performed on defense last year was we got our sacks throughout the entire game. It looks like we're getting majority of ours in that fourth quarter.
Hmm.
I don't know what we're doing differently, but I would like to see it start off aggressive like that. I feel like us starting off that aggressive is already setting the tone for the game. I hate that we have to finish off that way because what if we were behind and we are getting those sacks now?
That's
The
true.
conversation would have been where was this defense at like the other three quarters?
That's
So
absolutely
I would
true.
like to see it stretched out a little bit. Sean Desai does blitz a lot more than Gannon did in the past, which I love that. Um, I think the thing about our defensive lines, these offensive linemen are focused on Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is kind of clogging them up and distracting them, which is opening up room for Cox, Graham, Sweat, all these other defensive linemen to come in and get the sack or make the big
Yeah,
play.
to eat. Yeah,
So
exactly.
Jalen Carter is
Absolutely.
playing a huge role. He's playing a huge role. So no,
He's
I,
still the
I think it
favorite
was a good
too.
game. Yeah, it was a good game. It was definitely a nail biter. I'm glad that we got the victory before the bye. Um, now that we had this bye and we're halfway into the season, what is your grade on our performance and what things do you want to see us perform on, get better at um, this next half of the season?
What I would give us a B plus. A B plus. I'm
Hmm.
on a cusp of saying an A minus. I don't want to say because there's been so much hiccups and mistakes, but they're winning. So it's like they're winning throughout
Hmm.
these growing pains with the coordinators. And we were complaining about Jalen in the beginning of the season. Right now he's an MVP candidate. He's right behind Mahomes. He's number 2 in the MVP. Seems like he's getting on the same page with Brian Johnson now. Now they're starting to click and fall into place right in time, right in the middle, in the thick of the season. So I give this team a B plus. The areas improvement for me simply is defense. And when I say defense, get these third down stops. Get these stops. When you have these thirds and longs, they'll get a third and long on a sack, and they'll let a big completion come through. So it's like you guys got to go hand in hand. So I would like to see the defense improve a little bit more. Offense is clicking for me. Just a little bit more diversity. Sometimes they could get a little predictable. I would I really just want to see more screens, just a couple more types of plays. Just to mix it up because you do have the personnel to run these trickery plays and these misdirections and opposites and The rest of the league does it, and we have speedy guys. Might as well try it.
Yeah, and this Chiefs game is going to be a redemption game.
Oh,
Um,
for sure.
I would like to see us get the victory. Yeah, I would like to see us get the victory out of this
Yeah,
game, and we kind of shut that down. I guarantee you that after this Chiefs game, the conversations are going to be: Are the Eagles the best team in the NFL? That's
yeah.
what the headlines, and
One
that's what all the conversations are going to be.
because some people have
So
them as
yeah,
the number
so
one team, and some people have them top five. You know, the ESPN FBI got them, I think, what, 7 or 8. That's all like analytics.
mm,
So to the eye test, this team doesn't look the best. On paper, this team doesn't look the
mm,
best. But when you sit down and you collectively look at everything and other teams and compare them to this team, you might say this team is the best. Because this team, once
now, would
again,
you say that we're playing smarter? Would you say we're playing smarter than a lot of teams?
I would say yeah. I'm not. I would say yeah. I think the coaching has been good. Head coaching has been good with Sirianni, putting everybody in position and just how he's handling everything. Um, yeah, I would say yeah. I would say yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we're just playing smarter in situations.
Yeah,
Certain situations we're playing smarter. Um, that's what's getting us to where we need to be. Now, with these teams that we are playing, the Bills, the 49ers, the Chiefs, the Cowboys again, we need to play smarter, and I think we need to play more explosive than the way that we are. Um, the Bills are good. You can't sleep on the Bills.
of
Josh
course
Allen
not.
can do anything at any time.
Yeah, yeah.
Patrick
But they've been
Mahomes,
very inconsistent this
he's
year. I said that when the
he's
thing
been
went out.
inconsistent.
So these teams that
Yeah,
we're going up
he's been.
against, they're not
Mhm.
as good as they were appearing in the beginning of the season. You know, the Bills and the 49ers are good. I'm not saying they're not good, but they don't look as scary as they did in September. You understand what I'm trying to say? So
Yeah,
I'm focused on the Chiefs right now, but they could easily drop 1 or 2 of these games in a row, you know. And we don't want that. We want to win. We don't want to go on any type of L streaks. But the Bills are not to be slept on because on any given moment they could explode for 50. They could explode for 40
they
points and have
can.
an extremely highly potent offense.
Now, do you think the Bills have played a defense like the Eagles' defense yet?
No, and the Bills are coming to Philly. The cold weather is not going to bother them at all. What will might bother them is
Okay.
the environment. The environment may bother them. You know, this is a little bit. You know, Philly's a tough place to play, especially when you're not used to playing there. Buffalo's not used to going there.
Mm.
You know, they're not used to going there. You know, so I just think that they're walking into a gauntlet. 49ers walk into a gauntlet. Now, us going to KC is going to be a big test overall for the team as on a road for the road purposes. You know, you're walking into KC, one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. It's definitely not easy to
Yeah,
play
and
there either.
then we're gonna be in Dallas after that. We'll
Then
be
you'll be
in
in Dallas.
Dallas where there's air
Mhm.
conditioner,
Yeah.
chilling. Yeah, so
You
we
still
gonna
got
be
to
in
go
a
to
different
Seattle.
environment
There's
there
still a
too.
lot of road games that are going to go on that
Yeah,
the Eagles are going to be highly tested in. Highly.
and that's why I want them to be tested right now because, like you were explaining about the secondary, we have a young secondary,
Mm-hmm.
and these young rookies are getting put in positions to where, hey, you might have to be on Diggs a few times. Hey, you might have to be on Kelsey a few times.
That's true. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So that's all those experiences are just going to make them better, and that's the reason why I like this. Even if we lose two of these, take two L's off of this, our defense is getting the experience in. So when playoff times comes, oh, I dealt in this before, or, oh, I know how to handle this situation because
Mm-hmm.
they're learning as they're going.
Absolutely.
I think it was a little funny how Michael Irvin made the comment that our team is losing to get better. They're losing. They're
Yeah,
fixing their
yeah,
mistakes by
yeah.
losing.
They're fixing their mistakes by losing, but we're winning. Go figure.
Yeah, we're fixing our mistakes by winning. So
By winning. So that's
it's a
why I tell
little
you
funny.
it's
Yeah,
good problems to have. It's weird. This team is so weird because it's like they drive us crazy week to week. They're giving us nail biting games, but they're 8-1. You would think we're like 4-4 or something. Like it's crazy.
bro, it's crazy. It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy being an Eagles fan and watching those games, bro. It's
Bro,
wild.
I was just
You
on
don't
my
know what's going on.
I was on my toe. Every single game so far has just been like nerve-wracking so far, to say the least. To
Yeah,
say the
but I
least.
think I think we're gonna end off good. So before we get out of here, let's go through those gauntlet of games real quick
Yeah,
and
yeah, let's
let's
go.
see how we can end off. So I know we got the Chiefs first. After the Chiefs, we have the Bills. After the Bills, we have 49ers. After 49ers,
Mhm.
we have Dallas. After Dallas, we have the Seahawks. So out of those games, who do you see W's out of, and who do you see L's potentially?
The L's, the Kansas City game, some maybe off a bye week. There may be some bye week rest. You may get into a whole Kansas City early. 49ers
Mm,
game, I don't. I'm not. Let me go in order. The Bills game, the Bills game and the Chiefs game worried me more than the 49ers game. To be truthfully honest with you, they worried me more than the 49ers
okay.
game. That's just honestly speaking.
Is that
And then
because we don't play them as often,
yeah,
or
and we
because
don't
we
play
kind
them.
of saw them
They're
play the
they're an
49ers?
unfamiliar opponent, and those are the opponents you really don't want to run into. Really, you don't want to run into unfamiliar
Okay.
opponents. So yeah, I would think that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the
All right.
last
And
three
then we
games
got
to me, and then with the Seattle game to me also could be a low key L. Those are the games. Those three
mm,
games to me are the potential. Everything else, I can see them winning.
okay.
I
Okay.
still have the
So
Eagles losing
I
at least 2 to 3 more games. At least 3 games.
2 to 3. Okay.
I think
So
they can get in like
so
that.
I'll give you mine. So I think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs game. We're going to get a W on that one. The reason
Okay.
why I say a W is because we're going to be well rested after a week bye. Jalen's not going to want to lose twice to the Chiefs.
He's
He's not
not.
going to
He's
want to
not.
lose
He's
twice
not. He's
twice to the
not. He's
Chiefs.
not. He's not gonna want to lose
Um,
twice to the Chiefs. He's not. He's just not gonna.
and I think the Bills game, I can see us actually taking an L on the Bills game just because they're unfamiliar. Josh Allen is kind of like Jalen Hurts a little bit. He's a little bit more mobile. He can use his legs if necessary. Um, Diggs can take off at any time. The cold weather is nothing to them.
It's
Um,
nothing.
they're Bills Mafia, bro. So they can potentially come up on us and sneak up on us and get a
Hmm.
W on us at home. Um,
Which we
the
don't want.
49ers game, yeah, definitely. The 49ers game, I can see as a W. And the reason why I say that can be a tough game is because they don't have their left tackle right now. If
Yeah,
their
Trent
left tackle
Williams.
comes in, yeah, if their left tackle comes in, it's going to be a game. It's going to be a game to
Hmm.
play. If their left tackle isn't there, our defense is going to they're going to have
Have
a
a
field
field
day.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if that's my thoughts
Looking
on
at
the
some
49ers, the
stats.
Cowboys game. Yeah, the Cowboys game, I
Cowboys.
think
Whew,
that's going to be that's going to be a solidifier game. I
and that's
think
gonna
the
be a
Cowboys
dog
game
fight.
did. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a dogfight. I really don't.
I
I don't
you
think it's
know.
going to be a
Well,
dogfight
you think we might be?
because
Do you
and
think we might
Philly
be
is
pulling it
probably
back
rough.
by then? You think we might be pulling back? What week is that? The Dallas game.
Uh, that has to be like week
Well, I'm looking at
week
it right now. Okay, it's
14
14. Yeah, it's week
possibly.
14, week 15, because I haven't read
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, so no, I don't think we're going to be coming off the 49ers game, so it could go either way. It's a give or take.
And if the 49ers play us tough, if they play us tough and they play us physical, our team is going to want that rest. Let's be honest here. The 49ers play just as tough as we do. They're just as
Hmm.
physical as we are. They're
Absolutely,
just
yeah.
as physical.
That's true.
So I think they're gonna. So there might be some. We might be licking our wounds a little bit after a victory from the 49ers, but we still gonna have some players that need to rest a
It needs
little
to
bit as
win.
well. Um, and I think that's the only reason how the Cowboys can beat us. Just because we
That's
played them
true.
already, we already know what they're gonna do. We know they can't pick anybody up right now. Like they picked up, oh boy, that played with that played with Pittsburgh for a little bit in the
Oh,
Raiders.
Martavius Bryant, yeah,
But
but
I
that's
don't think,
that's that's not gonna
yeah, but I
scare us
don't,
up, man.
yeah, that's nothing. And I think our secondary knows them now. Our secondary knows
Yeah,
our receivers
Martavius
now.
Bryant, yeah, that's his name. Martavius.
Yeah,
I
our
got you.
secondary knows their receivers. We know how they operate, and we always shut Michael Parsons down every time we play him.
Yeah, is he
Hopefully
disappears in our
Jalen's
games.
injured. Yeah, Dallas Goller will be back. Um, hopefully Maddox will be back. I think N'Kobe Dean should be back. I think um, I think a lot of those we can take that on. Um, yo, what's going on? You got a comment?
What's going on? I think that's cool.
Fly Eagles fly. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what's
You
up.
already know. And I think and so with that victory, I see a victory with the Cowboys. Just solidifying that, shutting that whole talk about the division. Um, and then next, I can see an L from the Seahawks
Yeah,
because the
that's the game's
Seahawks,
gauntlet up there.
yeah, yeah, the Seahawks, because the Seahawks is a different team, bro.
And they
They
have
play
our number
different.
for
The
years,
Seahawks are
bro.
pretty physical too.
I hate the
Yeah,
fact they beat us. They have our number for years, bro. We gotta
yeah.
get them.
So that's why I'm saying I seriously think our losses will be with the Bills and the Seahawks. Maddox
It's true.
should be hurt.
We,
Probably.
me and
Yeah,
Warren spoke off the
yeah,
record yesterday, going for close to an hour. What did we say? Maddox, when he's there, he's there. And he's electrifying. When he's not there, is you better get used to it because he's usually not there. That's just simply what it is.
yeah.
He's been
And
injured.
And we all know about a job, bro. And when we working, your best ability is your availability.
Of course,
Um,
of course.
and Maddox hasn't done that for us. And I really hope N'Kobe Dean doesn't fall in that rabbit hole either.
That's where
Um,
N'Kobe Dean seems to be headed because it's if you can't stay on the field, that's what happened to Jordan Hicks with Minnesota's Vikings linebacker who was on the Eagles. That he couldn't stay healthy. He just couldn't stay healthy.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's what I see. An L, a possible L from the Seahawks, and a possible L from the Bills. They're unfamiliar teams. We haven't played them in a while. Um,
Mhm.
we there's of course there's film on them, but they can make explosive plays just like we can.
Yeah,
Um,
sometimes with
so
unfamiliar
those
teams
those are
they
my
catch you
two L's out of that.
slipping.
Yeah, and I think that's how I see us going through those gauntlet of teams. But other than that, we're good. And I think we have New York, then we have the Cardinals, then we have New York again.
Mhm.
And I feel like with the way Gannon did not help us in the Super Bowl, a lot of people gonna be holding that against him.
Yeah, I hope Dean gets healthy too, bro. I really do. I
I
hope he
hope he
gets
gets healthy,
healthy.
but I'm glad we got Morrow though as a backup.
And Cunningham played out his mind. He led the team in tackles.
Cunningham's Cunningham's giving
He,
people backflips, bro. He's
yeah,
making
he's
these flip
everywhere. Yeah,
awards.
flipping. He flipped Dak right into the honey bowl.
Yo, he's
Dak said he wanted
pancaking
honey
them.
poured on
He's
him,
flipping
right?
pancakes over there.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
memes
he's
have been
flipping
crazy all
pancakes.
week. I'm loving the memes, man, of Dak in the garbage
The
can,
memes are
Dak
wild,
upside
bro.
down, it's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's what we're getting into. Hey, we may be wrong. They may win all of them.
They
We
could, they
we
could, they
really
could
don't
go
know
on
what the
another run
team's
and
gonna
win.
throw down.
They could go on a crazy run too and just lose 2 games from now to the end of the season. But that number one seed, man, that's the road. That's the road right there. You get that, you got a lot.
Every team, I'm telling you, probably in NFC is saying we need to beat Philly because the last thing we want to do is for Philly to have home field advantage, and we got to go to Philly to play.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't
Uh,
want that.
yeah, they don't want that, but we can give it to them if they want it.
That's a
If they
fact.
can't do their job, we can definitely take care of that. But yeah, we appreciate y'all checking us out. Um, check us out on YouTube and the IG. We're out there. Let us know if anybody is interested in maybe joining the show next week for that bye week and just
Yeah.
talking birds, talking a little bit of their thoughts of the Cowboy game. If you have a game that you think we played our best, or if you think we had a game we played our worst, we want to get all you guys' opinions. So do not
Yeah.
hesitate to reach out to either me or Jay and say, hey, I want to come on for a few minutes and just talk birds with y'all. Everybody's welcome. Um, but yeah, we appreciate y'all checking us out. And Jay, before we get out of here, do you have anything you want to end it off with?
No, nothing much. I just want to say, we're trying to get a podcast going this week. Another one we could get a couple people, and we're trying to do a group thing. So we'll speak to Cool about it, a couple other people we know, see what's good. I think we can win the East with 4 losses. Yeah, we can. That we can. That's why I think we're gonna lose 2 to 3 more at the minimum, end up somewhere with 3, 4 L's. And then I think they're gonna write it up again, try to get back to the big game with that number 1 seed.
Yeah, I think I think the Cowboys are going to have a tough schedule these last few games that they have because they got the Dolphins
Yeah, their
and
schedule is weird. They have 2 easy games and then it gets hard. So we have the opposite. We're going into the harder part of the schedule and then it softens out.
exactly. So we're in the better position. But
Absolutely.
yeah, if anybody wants to reach out to us and hop on, let us know. But hey, this is all we got for tonight. So we'll talk to y'all later. Fly Eagles fly.
Take care, players.